Hi, it's Heather with Prescriptive Living. This is the place our savvy singles come to get tips to fail-proof their life and love. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics of all, and it's basically gaining confidence and being able to get exactly what you want out of life and love. And we're going to talk about some new rearrangement beta programs we're going to do. And I think it's going to be interesting. It's kind of a new restructuring component, and I'm curious how if it resonates with you. So stay through to the end because we're going to talk about what that means and how to go about it. And so, but what we're talking about right now. Okay, so I'm going to get into the meat before we get into how we're changing the offers that we're going to have to get people to get to a place where they have the confidence and can get exactly what they want out of life and love. One thing that we do in all of our teachings and our programs is a lot of preventative maintenance to get ahead of the things that block people from having a fulfilled life. Our measurement for success is not just things are working and we're getting by and we're just existing. Our measurement for success is actually fulfillment in your moments and in your shared moments with other people, where you're actually really enjoying your experiences and journey. Of course, life gets hard sometimes. Of course, it throws you curveballs. Of course, there are things. It's not this, pie in the sky, unrealistic, fantasy. But the reality is most people, the majority, aren't rocking their relational union and aren't rocking their life. And so why does that happen? I'm going to start there, and then we're going to go into kind of the remedies of how you get to the goal of fulfillment in whatever you want for your life and love. Okay, so the things that mess up relationships are personality differences, gender differences, and behavioral challenges. Okay, so we all have funky personalities and interesting little unique behaviors and quirks and all of those things, right? And a lot of times when we're not fully aware of what makes the unique fabric of our being what it is, and what makes us really motivated and thrive on a lot of deep layers. We're not talking just on a superficial level, like I want this at this moment. We're talking like, I used to say 20 layers deep. I've got it at about 30 layers deep right now. And it's not some overwhelming, crazy thing. It's just awareness, because awareness has the power to be curative. And what happens is most people think they're aware. They're aware of what they want and what's good for them and what's not. But the reality is most people are actually not aware of the things that they shouldn't compromise on, the things that make them uniquely them. And when people don't have awareness, there are two behaviors that show up that are very common and they're very, very damaging. So we're going to talk about those right now. The first one is when people are not aware, they will often compromise and they'll think they're doing a good thing because they're being cooperative and a good partner. I cannot tell you how many people say to me, oh, the secret to a great relationship is compromise. Well, the secret to a great relationship is, awareness of what each person needs to be their best, most vibrant self, and working in a way where you're really supporting and celebrating all the unique differences. And yes, you don't want to be a selfish jerk, but you shouldn't have to compromise on a lot of things that people compromise on thinking they're doing a good thing, and they end up angry, they end up depressed, they end up all of these behaviors, and they think they're doing a good thing, and they're actually compromising because they're not aware of what is okay to compromise on and what isn't okay to compromise on, because it's a lack of awareness. And so that's one component. The next one is when people are not aware of themselves and that their thinking is not everybody else's thinking, they impose on other people these thoughts that are not even remotely accurate or make any sense to the people they're imposing these ideas on. And instead of, connecting and, building good relationships, they alienate themselves because their awareness has them imposing wrong thoughts and ideas. It's the whole idea. Whenever someone makes an assumption, right, it makes you spell out the word assumption, ass of you and me, right? It's you assume and you make an ass of everybody in the process. It's not ever a good thing. They're rarely accurate. And I find people who just completely lack this awareness level live and breathe by this method, and it causes them harm, and it makes people not want to be around them. And so the answer to all of these things is becoming very, very aware of what makes you fully alive, what makes you vibrant, what makes you just your best self, and even the behaviors that show up in your life and why they're there. So what we're going to be doing, I firmly believe awareness alone has the power to be curative. Awareness is a huge part of just understanding what's going on. And I want to talk about this for a moment. When people are trying to get, to a level of success or fulfillment, I should say, in life, some of the things that block them from getting there, number one is they believe a lie, whether it's a self-imposed lie or a lie someone imposed on them. So they're believing a false thing. And so it's blocking them from getting breakthrough. Okay, so that's one. Number two is if it's not the belief component, it's not the belief, but if it's not that, then the second one is not being aware of that they're being deceived, not aware, right? The whole concept of deception is you're not aware that you're being deceived. So you don't even know there's a problem, but in the way that you're feeling and the way that you're reacting, that there's something that doesn't feel good. It feels off, it feels wrong. And that's why, because you're not, it's that awareness component. The third one is you maybe know something's off, but you have no idea what to do about it. You don't know if your thinking's right. You don't know what to do. Even if it is, you don't know how to get to the other side of it. So these are ways where people end up kind of stuck in this space where they're frustrated and they're not fulfilled. And if they're in relationship, they're, doing more isolation than connecting. And they're not getting the breakthroughs that they need. It's very common that this happens. And so I want to share what we're going to do about it. So at Prescriptive Living, we've had 6 courses in our Uncommon Love series, all of which have been individual standalone courses, over the past several months. We're working to get this to a fully on-demand application. But until we get there, we're actually doing a little bit of changing things up. So 3 of our courses are about the self stuff, right? The self stuff and the stuff that basically we were talking about that also derails relationships, the personality, the behaviors, and the gender things. But these are things we really want to look at from a self-awareness standpoint. So we're going to offer that 3-course self-awareness discovery to really get a handle on our personality, our behaviors, and even understanding of gender differences just from a baseline level. We're going to combine those 3 courses into a single course. And then we're going to take the other courses that are all about relationship, the majors for compatibility, which they're also the needs of the sexes. So anytime any one of the 7 are missed, relationship goes into a death spiral. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do communication and conflict in relationship. And then we're going to do the other one, which is kind of the foundational course in setting yourself on the right relational path. That's going to be a separate course. So we're taking our 6 courses and we're breaking them into 2 courses, and they're going to be a little bit longer. The whole training is about 5 or 6 hours of teaching to help people really know what it takes to have a really fulfilled journey and get what you want out of life, and to have a great partnership, and to align well, and to do life and love well. So that's what it is, but we're going to break it up. So the first one is all going to be about awareness on all of the things that are usually the things that also are what causes disruption and irreconcilable differences in relationship. But it's more about not the relationship stuff. It's more about yourself becoming your most vibrant self. That makes you an attraction magnet. That makes you confident. That makes you living your best life. And that allows you to navigate without living compromised and without imposing crazy ideas that aren't accurate to the world around you. So if that's interesting, you're going to want to connect with me on my Facebook page, which is Prescriptive Living, because it is there where we will be putting that course available. And it's not even going to be out there until this weekend. So you can't even go get it right now. We're going to probably launch that course in about 2 weeks. So this weekend, we'll put that course out there. We're going to put the launch date, do all of that. And that is it. So cheers to living and loving well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.